In this video, I want to give you 4 mindset tricks around anti-inflammatory lifestyle and making these radical changes towards your health. When you're in a place of being where you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, or you're repeating things to yourself like, this sucks, I can never get this right, I hate this, or my body is attacking itself, or my body isn't working right. When you're repeating those things to yourself, they're like become a part of your being. They become your belief by which you are operating, and you embody that. You carry it, you take it on. This is the truth for anything that we repeat over and over and over again and focus on in our lives. So me saying this doesn't mean don't acknowledge that I have chronic inflammation or my nerves are shot. Acknowledgement is important, but we need to also be able to change that focus and move it to a place of acceptance and love for ourselves, regardless of what is going on in the body. So whether you're just trying to lose weight or you're trying to remove chronic inflammation, if you're guilting yourself, or if you're feeling shame or negativity, or feeling less than, or feeling frustrated, you're going to want to do some real deep gratitude work and reframe it so that you're moving your focus forward, as opposed to trying to keep that cork down and staying in this place. The other thing is happiness and joy come from within, as opposed to when I get rid of my inflammation, or when this happens, I will decide to be happy then. I can't be happy until the psoriasis is gone. Whatever your case is, try and separate the attachment with happiness and the end result that you're looking for. Yes, being out of chronic pain makes you happy. Yes, losing the weight feels good and makes you happy. And I'm all about that. And I'm all about that being a part of this journey for everybody. Absolutely. But you also need to be able to find joy and happiness and love yourself unconditionally for where you are. So the guilting and the repeating over and over again, the place where you are as opposed to where you want to be, is damaging to you in the long run. It's holding you back. So often, emotional work leads to weight loss. A lot of inflammatory issues and a lot of the stress that we hold are emotions that are pent up, that are circulating in our nervous system, that we need to discharge and get out. So trauma leads to inflammation, and stress leads to inflammation. And so getting into the emotional and mental aspect of discharging and getting rid of the trauma and the suppressed emotional issues actually leads to weight loss, and it leads to a reduction of inflammation in our bodies. If you are coming from a place of unconditional love, and if you are constantly, mentally as well as in action, choosing to do the things that are nourishing for you, not even just neutral, but nourishing, choosing the most loving option, and treating yourself with unconditional love. When you can come from that place, you can show up for yourself in acceptance and gratitude for who you are and exactly where you are. It's not contingent or conditional on to who you might be in the future or what changes you need to make. The next thing is that this isn't a quick fix thing. This isn't I'm going to jump on the wagon, right? I'm on the wagon. If you've done well, you're doing great, you're staying on the wagon. But if you fall off the wagon or off the path, right? And then you feel bad for 3, 4 days, a week, maybe you stay off the wagon. Maybe it keeps you in this place of just giving up. Well, the mindset here is that it's really not a matter of being on or off the wagon. It's a matter of, this is a path. This is a journey. This is life. And so you want your life to be this anti-inflammatory thing where you forgive yourself if you make poor decisions. And then you are like, well, I see that I've made this decision. Why? What factors are around it that I can change? So like when you use the term, I fell off the wagon, it brings with it this idea of guilt, right? Of being less than. But that's not the way life is. It's not something that you jump onto and you're going this way. No, life, like, right, there are paths, things change. We make choices, and we have to be loving and accepting of who we are, where we are, and be forgiving of the decisions that we make and learn from them. That's a growth mindset, and it applies to anti-inflammatory nutrition. All too often, it's looked at as some different track that you put yourself on. And even though you want to go this way and you're naturally going this way, you've put yourself on the wagon and on this track, right? And you don't want to be on it. You want to be over here. And then you fall off and you're like, whatever, I've fallen off. I'm just going to stay over here. But that's not what it is. This is your path. This is your life. You choose what you do, what you put in your mouth, and we all make mistakes. None of us is perfect, and that's okay. Not a matter of punishing yourself for some choices that you've made. The third tip I talk about all the time, and that is placing your focus on what you can eat and rejoicing over that. Like if you continue to lament the foods that you can't eat, which by the way, are like chemically processed and not natural. Why you want to go to those is because of chemical addiction in our brain, right? They hook us, and we get dopamine off of all the sugar, and our taste, where it hijacks our taste buds, but your taste buds will come back to normal. And within a couple weeks of eliminating all of those things. So in any case, the mindset is to focus on all of the amazing foods that you can eat, and then to be like open and curious and like, wow, I've never tried this thing before. Let's give it a shot, and creating new recipes, or just trying things that you haven't done before and enjoying the process, because you know that that's going to bring you the health and the energy and the healing that you desire. It's a matter of spirit, of mind, and of body. It helps in all of those things. We cannot separate them. They all work together, which again is why the mindset and the fixing the repressed emotional issues is an important part of this. And the truth is, I make it a game. I almost, especially if I have a flare up, I don't even want to deal with neutral foods that don't cause inflammation, but they're also not taking away my inflammation. So it's almost like a game. I want to blast that inflammation out of my body. So the foods that cause inflammation, gone, right? The foods that might be fillers but aren't necessarily taking away the inflammation, yeah, okay, I'll eat them, but they're not really what I'm going for. What I really want every single time is that food that's going to pew, 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 blast away that illness and blast away that inflammation. So again, rather than looking over here, why? That stuff sucks. We don't want it. It's making us sick. So we want to turn that focus onto the incredible earth that we are a major part of, and the foods grown from the sun, which is in the perfect position to grow these foods that's optimal for our body. And we're going to choose the McDonald's. Forget that. no way. This is what's incredible. So let's have fun celebrating that, and let's have fun trying new things and keeping ourselves open, and then feeling the results. And instead of like grasping at numbers and recipes, we're going to like tune in and feel how much better our bodies feel. And the other thing about that is once we're doing that and you can feel the difference and you're tuned into how your body is reacting to these perfect foods, well, then the other foods start to disappear. You know, especially if you make a commitment to yourself to say, like, I'm going to have vegetables with every meal. And then eventually, at first, it might be a stretch, but then it becomes the habit and it becomes the norm. And pretty soon your taste buds adjust, especially if you're taking out those other foods. And it's what you want. It's going to be weird not to have the vegetables with every meal. Or, you know, dinner, 2 veggies and a protein. That's basic for me. 2 veggies and a protein. And if you can commit to that and be in excitement and happy about the foods that are healing your body, pretty soon it crowds out those other foods. The healing foods will continue to be on your plate and you'll look forward to them, and they'll crowd out the bad stuff. It's easier to start a new habit than it is to eliminate a habit. So that's what the crowding out is doing. It's creating that habit for you. And that brings me to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is kind of attached to that last one. It's that we want to focus on our commitments as opposed to like the number on the scale or the number of inflammatory markers. We want to focus on committing to moving every day, right? Making a commitment to be in gratitude and write in our gratitude journal every day. And then taking it day by day. So each day, today I'm going to commit to drinking a gallon of water. It's what we need to be drinking. I drink over a gallon of water every day. This is always at my side. My mason jar of water, constantly being refilled, constantly flushing out those cells. So being committed to the habit that you're creating, the thing that you've committed yourself to, having 2 vegetables on the plate, I'm going to stick to that commitment as opposed to focusing on what the numbers are, because it's in the long run that those become new habits and become a part of our lifestyle. Please consider supporting this channel, as I would like to bring valuable content full-time to this community.